right, my friend. Are you feeling like you can't trust yourself? You keep ending up in situations and circumstances that turn into red flags that don't feel right. And then all of a sudden you're feeling like you can't trust your intuition. You make these decisions and ramifications happen and it doesn't work out. And you're feeling like, wow, I can't trust myself. I can't tune into what I know for myself and trust that inner knowing. If that's you, I invite you to come and sit down with me. Let's do a quick little tune in, a little meditation to help us focus on an open space for and trust into our own intuition, into the Ajna chakra, the third eye chakra. So come on down to the ground, sit in a chair, sit on your couch, find a comfortable seat of your choice. If standing works best for you, or you're walking in the woods while you're listening to this, beautiful. Let yourself be where you're at, but find that lift in the spine. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. Just carry yourself a little bit taller. Feel that marionette string drawing up through your crown, and then feel into and focus on your third eye, your Ajna chakra. So that space between the brows, where that third eye rests, let's focus on it. Let's bring all of our attention there. Relax your shoulders. Let yourself find softness in the back body and lift in the front body. Let's take a deep breath in together. And exhale, arrive. Come here, come now, come now. I know that's hard to do on a day when you feel like you can't really trust yourself and you're making all these decisions. Maybe it's to do with relationship. Maybe it's to do with jobs. Maybe in both of those things, you keep choosing things that don't work for you, that end up having jagged edges where you feel like you have to leave, or there's abuse, or nobody's listening to you, or you're not able to express yourself properly, or it's just not in alignment with who you really are, and you're not able to come from your spiritual self. You're not trusting your spiritual self, your spiritual knowing, your knowing. Everything's about logic and ABC, 1, 2, 3, which has its place. But also when we're moving out into the world and we want to really be who we are, we need to be able to trust our intuition, trust that spiritual path and that spiritual knowing. So the Ajna chakra, the third eye chakra, it deals with our intuition and our foresight. It helps us to tune into the frequencies of the universe. So it helps us to know whether a situation sort of correlates with that feeling in the gut. You know, if we're in a situation and our gut feels off and we're knowing something, we either dismiss it and we carry on with what is logical. This should be okay. This works. This makes sense. Or we listen to that little voice, that slightly off feeling, and we go, something here isn't quite right. And sometimes it's really hard to tell the difference between the two, especially if we have put a cap on that intuitive knowing. If we have been told throughout our lives by society or by people around us that shit's nonsense, that you shouldn't be trusting that. You got to trust logic. The only thing that makes sense is logic. Or if you have tried to trust your intuition and you have tried to follow that path and things haven't quite worked out for you because of subconscious knowing, or patterns, I should say, because of how you're feeling about the world around you. So you can trust what's going on or want to follow that intuition, and then those societal norms get in the way. And you feel like, ooh, if I actually trust what I'm knowing here, I'm going to be seen as weird. I'm going to be seen as off. I'm going to be seen as other. So I'm going to bow to the peer pressure and do what is right, what is acceptable. All of those kinds of things. So if you're there today, you're feeling this vibe and you're like, yep, you're describing exactly what I'm going through today. Let's take a moment to close the eyes if you feel comfortable, or just soften that gaze. Just find something to land that gaze upon. Let the eyes sort of slip out of focus. Let your shoulders relax. Let your thighs relax. Let your throat relax and your jaw relax. And then once again, just bring that attention to that Agnya chakra, that third eye. Start to feel into those colors that are there, that dark blue, that indigo. Start to feel the space of that Agnya chakra. How big is it? Is it feeling really tight and small? Is it really hard to access? Are you able to open and feel wide expanse? Is it feeling really narrow and one singular track-like? Just feel it. Don't judge it. Just feel it. Just come into that space. Feel into that third eye. And start to breathe. Just breathe. Long inhales. Long exhales. And as you're breathing, see if you can bring the attention of that breath, like you're clearing out that space of the third eye, of the Agnya chakra. Deep breath in. On the exhale, let go of any blockages. Let go and clear. Allow for clarity to start to happen. Deep breath in. Long breath out with intention. Let go of blockages. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Another deep breath in. Long breath out. One more time. Deep breath in. This time, really let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Now see if that created a little bit of lightness in your head, a little bit more clarity, a little bit more movement. Maybe you keep that breath nice and deep. Now bring to mind, bring into your consciousness, whatever it is you are focusing on that you feel like you don't have clarity about. Whether it's like, what am I supposed to do today? Should I clean my house? Am I focusing on this project or that project? What do I do about this relationship? What do I do about this work circumstance? What do I do about this school circumstance if you're in school or university? How do I deal with this difficult conversation? Whatever it is, bring it to mind. Allow it to float around in your consciousness. Just let it sit there. Try not to analyze it too much. You're just bringing it present into your consciousness. Feel it. Focus on it. Allow it to expand and take up space within that Agnya chakra. Let that breath continue to move. Now ask yourself this question. What would you do about this circumstance if you didn't have to worry about societal norms, cultural norms? If you didn't have to please anybody, even your inner critic? You don't have to please your parents. You don't have to please this other person. You don't have to do what is expected of you. What would you do if you had the free ability, which you do, to make a decision that supports your highest good, your whole good, your greatest good? Just allow that to permeate a little bit. Let that bubble up inside of you. What would the decision actually be if you were free from those shackles? If you could trust your intuition, what is your intuition telling you? What is the Agnya chakra? What is source that has no dualities, that is simply is, that is all encompassing, that is both dualities at the same time, that is no time? What is that place in selfdom telling you about this circumstance that is facing you right now? Now, you don't have to come up with the answer right now. Just allow yourself to feel into it and notice how your body feels. Notice how your gut starts to feel, where your intention, where your solar plexus, the Manipura chakra, wants to go, how it responds. Focusing on, okay, this is what I would do. This is what I'm inclined to do because of society, because of those expectations. This is what I think I should do. And this is what I would do, could do, want to do from source, from my intuition. This is what my intuition, my innermost knowing is telling me is in my wholest, my greatest good, the bigger picture. So stay there. Let that be. Let that ruminate within you. And we're going to take a few moments in silent meditation here. But before we do, I invite you to tap into the breath and silently or out loud or as quiet as you want, we'll just take a couple of chants to help to open that third eye, give it permission to blossom and to create space and to tap into that universal knowing. So if you're seated, maybe you bring your palms face up in your lap, just finding an open receptivity. Maybe if you're walking or you're in a different situation, you just open and flex those palms. Keep the fingertips nice and wide. Just find a receptive stance, maybe bringing the palms facing forward if you're standing. And we'll take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, silently or out loud, oh. 2 more times. Nice deep breath in. Oh. Last one. Deep breath in. Oh. Now, before we go into silence for a couple of minutes, I invite you to contemplate or repeat the affirmation. I trust my innermost self. I trust my innermost self. I trust my innermost self. Now let yourself relax into silent meditation. When our time is up, I will gently ring a soft bell, letting you know you can come back into your body. You can now release the affirmation and gently and kindly flutter those eyelashes open. Bring yourself back into your body. Start to feel into your muscles, into your joints, into your breath. Maybe rotate wrists and ankles. Maybe make circles with the nose. Maybe roll the shoulders. Find your way back in. Notice how things have changed inside of you. Notice what you know now about how to approach that situation that you're facing. I hope that you follow that intuition, and I hope that you come back to this meditation anytime you need a little bit of adjusting, a little bit of a reminder that you can trust what you know inside of yourself. Where you get confused is those outer patterns, those outer influences, those societal influences, those expectations of what is right, what is wrong, what you should do. And it gets all muddled up and it becomes a little bit hard to focus on what we know for ourselves. So trust that intuition, trust your inner knowing. You've got this. I believe in you. You're a beautiful, amazing being, and I can't wait to see you next time. Our next meditation is the crown chakra, and I can't wait to see you there. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.